Welcome to TrailManners Podcast, Singletrack Session number 101 here in Ogden, Utah. It's Wednesday, August 15th.
Yes.
As we record this show. Quite a bit going on this week, again. We didn't have an episode Tuesday, but we'll get back there. We got some people lined up, ready to go. But we'll cover some things here, like what's been going on in the world of trail and I guess the industry, because there's some big news.
There has been.
Let's start with that, since we kind of prefaced that. So the VF Corporation.
Right.
Many people know, and those that don't, they're a Fortune 250 company.
Okay.
They have the North Face, JanSport, Smartwool, a bunch of other brands. One that we're familiar with, obviously, in what we do is Altra as well. They just announced that they are moving to Colorado. 800 high-paying jobs.
Right.
So to the metro.
All those brands.
You know, are
moving there, right?
I've read a couple different things, and that's what it looks like.
Right.
Because they like the, Colorado area.
Yep.
There's a lot going on already in Colorado with companies. But yeah, they are moving.
Some of their brands are not moving. Like Vans. Vans is staying in California.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
and
right?
So what they're talking about, the next 2 years, brands that are moving, North Face, JanSport, Smartwool, Eagle Creek, Altra, they're going to relocate to Denver.
And that all makes sense.
Yeah, and so it does make sense. So it does make for a change. Some are not as far, like Smartwool. They've been in Colorado. But Altra is Utah, where we're at.
Yeah,
so
Utah-based company.
So we have some friends out leaving, but that's some big news for Colorado,
right?
And in general. And, of course, it makes them a little cozier and closer with outdoor retailers.
That's right.
Save a little cost on getting things ready.
Not really. They still got to use the union labor to set that up.
Maybe just shipping it over. Maybe they just put it in their wagon and run it over. Who knows? But that's kind of some big news. In the world of trail running, since we have friends, I mean, that's kind of
how many
weeks ago,
employees are moving from Logan then? What do you think?
I don't know.
10, 15, something like that.
It's not a huge base.
No, it's
right?
not.
And then it's not necessarily they're all moving.
Right, exactly. Maybe others are going to find jobs here.
You have the customer service departments, I think, that's there, so they may not relocate for that.
Right.
There might be some college students at Utah State.
Yeah.
But you do have, like, Brian that we know,
the
president of Altra now.
Yeah, that's a big loss for our area, at least.
So maybe some changes. Who knows? We saw these coming, and we knew it'd take some time before.
That was our first question. We're like, are they going to have to relocate?
Yeah, because Logan isn't known for for that, right? So, and they were there because of Icon Fitness, who owned them before. So, anyway, that's kind of some big news.
But best of luck to Brian.
Yeah,
this is huge.
It is, and I know he's got some team there. We know people that work there, so it'll be interesting how it pans out and if people get a stay. Because a lot of it too. Being in the industry for a while was the culture of a company. So when I worked at Smith Optics, that culture changed a lot when they left Sun Valley to Portland.
Yes.
And you hope the culture doesn't change too much with Altra because they have a good thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Brian being involved from day one to where he's at now, he can take some of his key members.
Yeah, as long as he's allowed to have a lot of latitude, his culture won't change.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing, especially in this industry. Wish him luck for sure. On their endeavors. Another fun thing, cheating in ultra running and trail running.
Oh, what happened?
So this is an interesting story, and it came out again. I mean, we're not the first ones to release this because we only come out on Thursdays.
Right.
But it's kind of it's sad because there's cheating involved.
Right.
But it's also more of a scale away from running, which kind of dampens that. So there was a beauty queen pageant.
I did shave my beard.
Did you?
Yes.
You did. You look a little
younger.
You do.
Yes.
Overgrown, younger. There was a beauty queen, Maud Gorman. She was disqualified from a couple ultramarathons. Now, some people may not recognize her as a runner, right?
Okay.
Her name. Some people might recognize she's claimed to be a victim of sexual violence when she was 13.
Okay.
So she was running for, I believe it was Massachusetts, Miss Massachusetts.
All right.
And there was some type of skit where they made fun of the Me Too movement.
Oh, no.
The hashtag Me Too, which is a big thing, which is real.
It's legit.
Which is bigger than running, right?
Yeah.
So she had the crown, and they poked fun of it, and she got really mad because she says, "Hey,
I do remember this being in the news lately."
She was 13. She was was part of sexual violence, so she handed her crown in.
Right.
She said, "I don't want a part of this. If you guys are going to make fun of it." So she got a lot of people on her. This is awesome. Way to go.
Right.
We support you. Well, I didn't know she was a trail runner.
Mm-hmm.
But just recently at the Pineland Farms Trail Festival, a 50-mile race she was running.
Was running?
She ran it.
Allegedly
She ran it. I think she finished second, if I remember right.
Oh, she's fast.
She finished second.
Okay.
In the standings, but then they found that she cut the course twice.
Twice.
So they said between mile 18 and 29.
Oh.
Based on her time, because I think they had a mat or timing there.
Right.
So between those 11 miles, she was running a 6:07 pace for 11 miles. And at mile 33 to 44, she was running a 5:17 pace.
Whoa.
So they're saying she cut the course, essentially what it was. So they're like, hey, you cut the course, we're going to disqualify you. And she's like, well, I'll send you my Garmin stuff.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's all we need. Well, she just took a picture of her watch.
That's awesome.
And it just had the mileage. It had the time of day, like it was like 1 p.m. or whatever, and then it said 52.09 miles. And they said, no, we need your data. Well, she wouldn't send it.
Oh, of course not.
So that's why they said, you know what, you're out.
Yeah, let's do everybody a favor.
But she qualified for the U.S. trail running team.
What?
Yeah, to go to Scotland or something.
Based off of that?
No, I think she'd done some other races, which now they're diving into those now.
They better.
Yeah.
Right?
So, because you can't judge a book by its cover, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't, So basically, someone said that they were running and they passed this girl on their second lap and they didn't see her again till the end of the race.
Gotcha.
And she was pretty far ahead of them. So they went back and they said, you know what, Pineland Farms, you're DQ'd, you're out. And so now people are questioning her Me Too thing. Like, did you really were a part of sexual violence, or were you looking for more attention? Because they showed a bunch of pictures from her, I don't know if it was Instagram, Twitter, and she'd won races, but she would take pictures of herself with her medals, how blessed she was to be a good runner. Even after the race.
We need a Strava.
Yeah.
We need some Strava data from this lady.
But, she was like, I'm so blessed to be a good runner and had everything went well for me today. I'm so happy with my performance.
Did she run in high school or college?
I didn't dive that deep into it.
We need this information.
Yeah. But she was ejected from the U.S. skyrunning team is what she was.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
We need some more information.
But, it's pretty sad that we're getting more and more cheating going on. And it's been, I think it came out like 5-6 days ago, like right after our last Singletrack Session. It's just, there's pictures of her in like a USA outfit with just arms full of medals, like hanging off her, like Ragnar medals and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And, here it is. Here's one of her posts. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, so she took a picture at 4:18 and she ran 52 miles, but that's all she put on there. And then it showed she won a race, a 50K. Overall was first place.
Whoa!
In Massachusetts, it was a 50K. She did in 5:53. So she's
that's kind of a slow 50K.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless it's a really technical one.
Yeah, she wasn't available for comment, but she's DQ'd.
So that's too bad.
More cheating, more bad news.
Yeah.
And it's just going to continue to happen.
Sure will. It's going to get worse.
It will, because there's too
but
much
nobody's
involved.
going to top the Sir toilet a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Sir shits a lot.
Yeah, nobody will top that.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That will be infamous for years to come for trail runners.
From here until the end of time.
Because you won't remember hers as much because the story is just I cut the course as opposed to I was
hiding out in the pooper.
Yeah. So, but it's just sad. And again, it goes down to her. Maybe she was doing it for publicity. Maybe she was doing it because she wanted on the skyrunning team. Again, it's really not money involved, so it's kind of vain, a little bit, kind of narcissistic.
On the skyrunning team. That sounds
hard. Well, here's what I'm thinking. It's like, okay, so you get through this and you sneak into the skyrunning team. Yeah. Wouldn't your talent come to show there?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that be your fraud would show up right away?
What do you say? It's
right?
Like, well, I
got hurt. Yeah. I can't run as fast.
Look at my hammy sore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, how do you fake it once you're there?
Yeah.
So it's just
fake it till you make it, and then what happens when you make it? right?
The saying stops there.
Yeah.
It's just fake it till you make it. There's no second part to that. There's no
She's
book
trying
two.
to get it.
But it is. It's kind of
All
fun.
right.
It's like, all right, now what?
That's sad.
So, yeah, we'll get that one out of the way. Want to give a huge shout-out to our friend Harrison Fluman. He's been on the show. He finished the Bigfoot 200.
Man, like on Monday, I was checking out.
He was stuck at mile
168. I'm like, dude is taking a serious nap.
It was for days.
Yes.
He was there.
And I checked like 10 hours later. He's still at 168. I'm like, man.
He's tired.
He is a tired puppy. I was hoping that he didn't like drop out at that point.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how
it kept
they
saying
did
active
that.
on there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I kept looking at that.
And then I looked later and it says finished at mile 168. I'm like, uh-oh, he dropped out.
Yeah.
And then I saw like a picture of a belt buckle. I'm like, cool, he finished.
Yeah, so his wife texted me, and I texted her. He finished in like 80-ish hours,
right.
So it was like 10 hours over his goal time, which, give me a break.
Yeah, come on.
That's pretty solid.
Right.
You finished.
Yeah.
But I guess at mile 168, someone started messing with his spot tracker at the aid station and must have messed it up. But I guess there was a lot of that going on.
It seemed that way. Like some person was like way the hell over there, and then she finished.
And then there was people saying, "Oh, haven't tracked my runners." So there were some tracking issues,
gotcha.
But super excited for Harrison because I know how much he's put into that, and it just seems like a grueling situation.
That's a big nope.
Yeah, it still is for me. Like I'm excited to get him on the show to hear the blow by blow of this,
right?
Because it was his first one, and just see how that went. But huge congratulations, and for everybody that participated, whether you finished or not, and the crews, pacers, volunteers.
I can't imagine crewing that.
I couldn't. I can't imagine being. Yeah, it'd be even a fly on the wall, something like that. I'd have to take a nap.
Yeah,
a lot. So
we also need to say congratulations to Flip Phone Martinez. She got her first ultra finish last weekend at the Skyline Marathon.
She did first
55K.
ultra. So now she's addicted.
Yes,
and now it just goes up from here.
It's a slippery slope.
Yep. Once you're there, you just got to keep going, and you can't you cannot use your work schedule
as an excuse.
Yes. Okay? Because that's not how it works anymore.
Nope. You know, another good race there for you, Flip Phone, would be the Fall Classic on Antelope Island.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's the 17th
of November.
Of November? Yeah.
Just keep that moving.
Yeah. Just keep rolling with that.
You're there, so just don't back down now because you got to build up, right? And it is November 17th is the Antelope Island Fall Classic. You can do that one. If you can do Skyline, you can do that one.
Oh, yeah.
Skyline's a little harder, but it's farther on the island. So congratulations, Flip Phone. So I need to go back because I kind of left something out last week. I get ahead of myself because I posted a thing about, what do you call TrailManners listeners? Just to get some ideas what people had. So on Facebook, people were posting all these, tribe and just clan
kind of
and
silly
gang
things,
club, and some were getting legit.
Oh yeah,
and I got an email and a message. I shouldn't say email.
Somebody threatened you. Don't use tribe.
Yeah,
did you see that? That was like a legit threat.
That was Erin.
Yeah,
she said don't use tribe.
Yeah,
and so she started saying cheese heads and different things.
Yeah.
So I think for her sake we'll just say tribe. Because she'll be happy with that. She said she doesn't have any ideas, but I left that off last week because she said don't use tribe. And that's the kind of the thing. It's like it'd be fun, but not to use like the stuff that's out there, right? That you hear all the time. And I'm not knocking everything because it's the way it goes. It gets used, whether it's
it just comes to mind really easy.
Nation is one, and we've used that before.
There's a podcast that's called that.
Yeah, so
we don't want to use that.
Yeah, for sure. We don't want to tiptoe on anybody. One I really like is Trailitarians, like vegetarians.
Trailitarians.
Because we just talk about running on trails. And Joe doesn't like the road.
I'm going to have to veto that one.
So there's some fun ones.
Trailitarians.
There are some fun ones. But we'll still have fun with that and figure something out. But I got to say, this last weekend, I got a late invite. But I got an invite. Late invite. Kind of had some things going on, but I went and did the Teton Circ.
Right? I haven't had a chance to talk to you yet.
You haven't, and so we started.
I've heard through the grapevine that she had a good time.
For the most part.
Until you got sprayed in the face.
God. So you heard about that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my gosh.
That made my day.
So we had a great time. We started at Lucine Meadows.
Lupine.
Lupine, that's right. Meadows. Lupine Meadows, and ran the Valley Trail.
Over the Death Canyon.
Our tour guide, Jim Skaggs, took a wrong turn.
Yeah, I saw that on the Strava.
So we went the wrong way, and me and Jeremy were like, no, I think we're supposed to go the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jim's like, nope. And I'm like, okay, Jim's run it.
Yeah.
I'm worse
and
with
you
trails.
Like, that part, I think, is a little bit flat. I don't know if you guys got to the point when we went down to the parking lot.
Almost.
Yeah.
We were getting closer, and I'm like, nah, the mountain's the other way. So we stopped, looked at a map, turned around. I think we were a mile-ish off course, so added a couple.
That's what it looked like.
Then we went up Death. Is it Death?
You go up Death Canyon.
Death Canyon.
Yep.
And all this is extraordinarily beautiful.
Yeah. Once you get into Death, I mean, the Valley Trails, it's beautiful. It's pretty, right?
We saw super, super fresh bear turd on the Valley Trail. Mm-hmm. Little spooky, not gonna lie.
But then once you make that hard right, you go up into Death Canyon and you get the Phelps Lake overlook. That's where the money starts.
Yep. It does, and it's funny because right when we started, we were like a couple miles in, and we met. Jim says, we're looking at high 60s, maybe. Yeah. It's gonna be cool up there. I'm like, sweet. We meet some people about 5 miles in, like, it's supposed to be the hottest day of the year here.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're like, it was hot, dude.
Like hot fudge sundae.
It was hot, and I had 2 bottles.
Oh,
but I had my Steri pen.
Yeah, good.
So I was playing in the river.
And how'd that work?
Awesome. Good. Still, I mean, we've only been out like 5 days since I've been home, but
you still haven't got the squirts.
I'm still clocking good now, but yeah, Steri pen worked. I filled up a lot. Some of the water got a little woody. Some tasted piney.
Yeah,
a
little grainy.
Some on top was ridiculously good.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, then there's that huge climb.
Oh man,
switchbacks from hell.
Non-stop, right? But what's cool about those switchbacks at the very top, the angle kind of eases back just a little bit, and you get into those big pine trees.
Yeah.
And you start to feel it. You're like, oh, we're gonna bust out here soon. And then you bust out up there by Static Peak Divide. Yeah. Oh man,
and you're above tree line.
That's when it gets good.
It does, and that's where you can kind of start running if you weren't so high up.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're kind of running, going, "Oh, this is hard."
Well, you can when you start wrapping around behind the Tetons. It's so good.
And we had a great group. We stopped for tons of photos.
Right.
Like our moving time was probably like 9 hours.
Yeah.
But we were out there for ever.
Yeah, that's okay.
We ended up coming down in the dark.
I heard that you didn't have a headlamp.
But I had my trusty phone that I dropped in a river, which is broken now, but it worked after.
That's crazy.
I dropped it, fell right in my pocket. It worked the whole time until the next day.
Yeah.
And it stopped. I'm like, well, at least it got me some photos.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good time. Crazy flowers.
Yeah.
Beautiful views.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to be up there, and I got to go again because it's just too amazing.
It is, right?
There's so much to see.
Okay. Well, I have an opportunity for you. I'll talk about it off air.
All right.
Yeah.
But as Joel was mentioning,
maybe 2 opportunities.
Oh, man.
One might make you poo-poo your pants a little bit.
As long as it's not from Giardia.
Yeah.
But so we were coming down Cascade Canyon, which is amazing.
And forever.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It takes a damn long time.
And there's a lot of avalanche damage right now. Yeah. Like crazy. So we're coming down that, and here comes a couple hikers coming up, and they're like, hey, just saw a black bear and a grizzly.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, hell, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
8 o'clock at night.
You to the front of the line.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, great. And so I usually the last person usually.
Right.
That's just where I always find myself anyway. And so Jim Skaggs was with us, and one of the runners, I don't know, it was Misty or somebody said, do you know how to use that? And Jim's like, well, yeah. And he opens it up and goes, psh, and sprayed it.
Yeah.
The bear spray.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Dude.
But he sprayed it away from you guys, but the wind caught it, right?
He sprayed it sideways.
Yeah.
Like, so the trail goes, say north-south.
Yeah.
He sprayed it like
east-west. Yeah.
And it was me and Jeremy Actor was behind him.
Yeah.
And, man, it hit instantly. Like, it wasn't like you waited for it. It was like, psh, bloop, it hit you.
Yeah.
And, of course, I've never been sprayed by bear spray.
Right.
And for the record, if anybody out there wants to know, I've never been sprayed by mace or pepper spray, ladies.
Right.
So, or men. But that bear spray freaking hurt. I said, if I ever took a direct hit from bear spray, stabbed me in the heart. Like, I mean, my eyes started burning.
Yeah.
My lips started burning. My tongue started burning. My throat started, my nose.
Yeah.
And then I started, like, dry heaving. Like, I thought I was going to throw up and I couldn't breathe.
Bro, that's bad news.
Yeah.
So Jim Skaggs was telling me this story the other morning when he was working out, and he was hooting and hollering and laughing so hard as he was telling this story. He thoroughly enjoyed doing that.
I think everybody did after they knew I was going to live.
Right.
But, I mean, it was quiet for...
There was a quick second where everybody was, like, looking for the first aid kit, right?
And it was quiet.
For the CPR mask.
For, like, 2 miles, it was quiet. Nobody was talking. I was in the back hacking because I couldn't breathe still.
Right.
And then I had 2 water bottles.
Yeah.
And we'd already filled our last spot. So I was spraying my water bottle to get it out of my face, and I reached for my other one, and right when I started to spray it, I remembered I had scratch laps in it. So I'm spraying passion fruit all over my face.
Man.
And I'm like, well, now I'm going to be sticky and burning.
And that bear's just going to come up and lick you on the face.
Yeah. And then I drank some, and I had pepper spray in my mouth. That was the worst taste. Like, whatever that made it taste like was like licking a dirty diaper.
Yeah.
I'm like, boom. So we finally got to a creek. I tried to rinse off the best I could. About 3 miles later, I started getting nauseous.
Oh.
Like I was getting, like my stomach was in a bad way.
Right.
I'm like, this is not working. So Misty gave me some of her water.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes later, my stomach said, I think it kind of flushed it or,
Gotcha.
I don't know what you call it,
Settled
concentrated. Don't mess around with bear spray.
Yeah, right?
It sucked.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't even, like I said, I didn't take a direct hit, but it was enough. I was dry heaving. I was coughing. My eyes burnt. I couldn't breathe.
Right.
As I was dry heaving. My holes in my head weren't working right. You know, my nose was like, oh, I'm going to have to trim my entire nose hair.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to get, like, a wet wipe up through my...
You go up and around.
And, up,
do
out
the
my
noodle
tear
trick.
duct.
Do the noodle trick, right?
It was so bad. And then we got to the bottom, and they rerouted the trail for damage, so we didn't know where we were going.
Oh, that's right. They had that closed for a little bit, but
And
also
closed.
they were doing some weird like work on it last summer.
Yeah, so we
and that was like a crap show.
Extra miles.
Yeah,
it's dark now.
Yeah,
in bear country.
Yeah,
and it was scary. And we were quiet.
Yeah,
for some reason we were quiet for the first time all day. And I had my bear spray out. Like, okay, if a bear, and I'm like, I can't. If a bear was like in my face, I couldn't see him anyway.
Right.
So there's no point. So I put it back.
Yeah.
Then we just had to slog to the car. It took us a little while. Once I wasn't nauseous from nutrition or anything. It was just the bear spray.
Yeah.
But it was brutal. Like, now it's funny.
Yeah.
But when I was never mad at Jim.
No.
Like, I wasn't like you know, because he apologized. He was super sincere. I've never heard Jim be sincere and apologize.
I know that generally doesn't happen.
He was like, man, I'm really sorry, you guys, for being. And I think he called himself a dumbass or something.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? It happens.
Right.
It was an accident, no big deal. I wasn't mad, but it hurt like hell.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to get sprayed.
It's like
by
you're
bear
going
spray.
through police training, the taser training, right?
Man, I think I'd rather been tased.
Yeah.
Because that stuff stuck for a while. Like, we went for pizza that night, and I could still taste weird on my tongue. Yeah. The pizza was probably pretty good. Yeah, it was a fun trip.
Jim said that he was telling me that story, and boy, I'm glad it happened to you and not me.
Thanks. Yeah, me too. I'm like, why'd it have to happen to me? Why am I the guy?
Yeah. So tell me about coming out off of Alaska Basin when you get up to Hurricane Pass, right? So right behind the Grand Teton. You get up on top of Hurricane Pass and you drop down to Alaska Basin. There's some big trees in there. Did you pay attention to that?
Yeah, so when we're on top, behind the Tetons, it's the highest point
it's the
for
highest
the rest
point
that you're going to go. So you're behind the Tetons, and you're looking down, and that was my favorite view of the entire day.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Super green. There was some glacial stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Creeks, and like, that was probably my favorite view, and just cascading waterfalls from there on out.
Right.
But
that section of the trail is hard.
It was super technical.
When you're going down in the Cascade Canyon, that section's you cannot run that section fast.
Yeah, you can't. And
plus your head's on a swivel the whole time looking.
No,
right?
I kicked so many rocks, and I giggle. I never fell, but I came close, and I just giggle. I'm like, I should know better. But you're looking around.
Right.
And we got to talking. It's like, you'd have to run this, and I know they probably do, but I couldn't imagine going for FKTs on something like that. Not just because how hard it is, but I would just want to be. It's so pretty.
I'd have to do it a couple times. So if I was like that good of a runner, I would have to do it a couple times and then be like, okay, now
I'll go for it. Right. Yeah, because it was. I mean, it's been on the list for so many years. Right. I just couldn't. It was everything it could have been. The flowers were on point. I only had, like I said, I had 2 small bottles just for my vest, and I never had an issue because there was so much water.
There's a lot of water.
And I just used my SteriPen. Yeah. Everybody was using my SteriPen. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, well, Jeremy had theirs too, but never was a water issue. Yep. I probably didn't take as much food as I could have, but I didn't really need any more. Mm-hmm. I probably could have left my jacket at home. You never want to.
Yeah, not
for
there.
sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're like, well, I didn't really need any of this.
Right.
I got sunburn. But yeah, it was crazy. Like it was so breathtaking. And then when we were done, we just wanted to be done. And then we couldn't find anywhere to eat.
Yeah, so he said you guys got done so late, everything had closed.
We went. It was so funny. We went to this place. It was
you guys went to Dornan's.
Eleanor's is what it's called. It was open.
Yeah.
And we went in there, and it's a bar.
Yeah.
It's a liquor store.
Yep.
But you have to go all the way to the back, and they have a bar.
Yep.
And I'm like, thank goodness. So we get back there. People go in to wash up. I sit down because we look like hell.
Right.
I sit down. The waitress comes over. I'm like, is your grill still open? And she looked at me. She goes, F no. But she said the whole thing.
Right.
And I started laughing. I'm like, that is funny. She goes, man, it's like, what time is it? And we're like, it's like 11:15.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're going to need to go. And she told us where to go. Pinky's Pizza.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Right.
Long wait, but yeah, we tried Dornan's, and that closed at like 9.
Yep.
And I still want to go there because I've never been there, and they're like, it's got the grass views, and
it's got a great bar.
Someone told me they had the best breakfast around. I can't remember who told me that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for it.
Right.
But yeah, it was super cool. Like I want to do it again. We probably did about 40 miles.
Right.
I want to do it again. The only part that was like, is that climb out of Death Canyon.
That thing's a beast.
It's like 3,000 feet.
Yeah,
and it's not like it's not a grunt. It's not, okay, I shouldn't say that. It's not like super steep because there's switchbacks.
Right.
But it just never, I mean, you're just going up the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, so that was the only part where I look back and go, yeah. Or if I did it again, I may not do the Valley Trail.
That's what I was going to say. It's better to park a car at either String Lake or Jenny Lake and then park another car at Death Canyon. Cut out the Valley Trail.
Yeah, and I'm glad I ran the Valley Trail because there's some awesome lakes, some great scenery. But I'm just saying, for now that I've done it, if I were to do it again, I would cut that because that was like...
That's 10 miles.
Pretty close to it.
Yeah.
We did 40. And I don't know, I'm not saying I'd be fresher for the climb, but I've done that part.
Right.
You know, so it wouldn't be... But we didn't really see wildlife. Saw a weasel, bunch of marmots, some fish, squirrel, but nothing else. It was kind of...
So how'd you like the part from basically the boat ramp over to the car at Jenny Lake?
It was dark. It was pitch black.
And it nonstop climbing for 2 miles.
It felt like it.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were done climbing at that point.
Back in the day, they used to have a trail down by the lake. It was flat.
Okay. Because I think that's where...
awesome.
Because
they closed that down for some reason. Now you got this thing that climbs and goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
You thought that you were done.
I did.
But they put that in. Oh, my gosh. That's soul-crushing.
Yeah, and it was pitch black, so I didn't... You can't see.
Yeah.
So you
didn't know any better at that point.
You're just like 1 foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Just death marching.
And it was pitch black for me for probably a mile before I realized I had my cell phone flashlight.
Well, they said they put you in the middle.
Yeah, it didn't work anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got the shadow coming off.
Exactly.
Me, and I was tripping more. And if someone was behind me and turned their head off with the light, I couldn't. So it was...
Right. It's almost best to be in the back at that point.
Yeah, it would have been. But I had my... Once I turned my cell phone flashlight, it was fine.
Yeah.
You know, and then once we got to the car, it was like we just wanted to get out of there.
Yeah.
It's like we were just, let's go, let's eat.
I'm glad you got to do that. That's a great adventure.
Man, and I'll tell you, I feel fortunate. I've got to do Bellingham, Zion, Silverton, this, and plus the races.
Right.
Man, it's a tough year to beat as far as stuff I've got to run on.
Right.
You know, like for me, like stuff I've always wanted to do Bellingham. I've always wanted to do Teton. Silverton's just always going to want to be there. So I was running. I think I was telling everybody, like, this has probably been my best year for being on trails I want to be on. Not running wise. I'm not in good shape at all. I'm way not in good shape. But I'm like, this is a good year, right, for running. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would like to do it again when it's not as hot because that was hot that day. I don't know what it. You know, but I know they said it was like the hottest day of the summer. I'm like, did you go sleeveless the whole time? Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. When I did that last year, I went sleeveless the whole time, and I was really surprised I was able to do that.
Yeah.
Being able to do that, it's just a recent thing. You know, 20 years ago, probably couldn't do that.
Really?
Yeah. Weather's changed quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, my shoulders are all sunburned because I never see sun. So it was fun, though. A lot of good times, good friends, good people, so it just made it even that much funner.
Right.
And it just keeps swaying me more in the direction of why race.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't have the pressure the night before.
Yep.
When I woke up, it wasn't real pressure-packed. I knew I had to do 30-something miles.
Right.
When I was doing it, we're taking photos, we're stopping.
Yeah.
You know, I guess you could throw in, it's nice to have aid stations. Once you leave and when you're back, it's not. I don't know. It's just I enjoy the being on the trail and not have to worry about all these other things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And not that I don't. There's still races I'd like to run. But,
sure.
But I think overall, it's like show me a fun weekend somewhere. Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of my mentality right now, and especially. And I will bring it up, and I regress, but mentally, this has been the hardest year of my life.
Right.
And I just don't have it in me to race.
You got at least one more race.
Maybe.
This year.
I don't know.
Maybe. Oh.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it the last 3 days, and I honestly,
I support you.
It's not the distance.
It's
the Bear one. It's the Bear 100.
You can come up and have fun with me.
Yeah, it's the Bear 100.
Come up and harass me.
And I've always wanted to run it, but mentally,
you're not there.
Well, there's so many huge, heavy things laying on me.
Sure.
That's one
they're
of them.
going to happen.
Yeah.
In the space of
now,
45 days.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's one of them.
Yeah.
Right. Like preparing, final training, all these things. And it's like, how do I cut a variable out so I can focus on myself and my daughter?
Right. Well, there you go. And you'll get your money back if you do it now.
And so now I don't know because I want to run it. I mean, it's been the race I've wanted to do as long as I can remember. I've never done it. Right. The Bear.
Well, it's going to be there next year and the year after.
It is, but I don't know where I'll be. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not getting younger, and I'm tired of signing up for races and not running them.
Yeah, I get you.
That's kind of where I'm at. But mentally, it's not worth it. Like right now, like I I don't know if I could do a 50-miler mentally. Like physically, I just did 40 miles in the Tetons. I'm not. The Bear 100 physically, I know I can finish.
Sure.
I got 36 hours.
Yeah.
It might be 35:59.
But you're going to finish.
But I know physically I can finish, but mentally,
right.
I'm just in a place where if it got hard, I think my give a damn would just say, yeah. You know what I mean?
We're done.
And then it's like, was that
Then you're going
to
beat yourself up for not doing it.
And then I'll feel bad if someone didn't get in on the wait list that's ready. Then I'll feel bad that I wasted my weekend and time. I mean, I don't have pacers. I don't have crews. I'm not worried about any of that, and I will not have them if I decide to run because I don't want that pressure.
Yeah.
But mentally, I just don't want more reasons to be stressed or worried or thinking. I want to focus, and between everything else going on, that's the one thing that I'm in control of to say. Okay,
well, that's a big one too.
And we could drop that off, and I still have the other stuff I can't drop off.
Yeah,
I can't say, you know what, screw my job for a while. Nope, ain't gonna happen.
Right.
I can't say the heck with this or heck with that. Nope, these are locked in. That's kind of the
variable.
What do you call it in school when it's not your required class? It's your
elective.
It's my elective now. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm probably 90% not running the Bear.
Okay, that's fine.
And I haven't said that yet either because I want to.
Well, you just said it.
Yeah, and so there it is. It's out in the world.
Right.
And
that's okay.
Yeah, I feel bad about it, but I just know for me right now, mentally, it's not a priority.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I get you.
So enough doom and gloom on my part. But yeah, that, and I still run, It's just not the pressure of a race or something. But speaking of races, let's dive in.
Okay.
Because that kind of got south a little bit. But the Sierras and all was this past weekend, which we talked about.
That's kind of a big one.
I know everybody's going to be a little shocked.
Yeah, right.
But Killian did win.
The Hornet won.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people gasping and swerving off the road right now.
Yeah, right.
You're like, oh, my God, no way, he's not that good. But, yes, he did.
Yeah.
6th time for that race. 4 times in 5 years.
Did you see a clip of the start of that race?
I did.
How fast they're running right out of the gate. It's insane.
Well, he did it in 2:30. It's not his fastest time he's ever done it. He did it in 2:31.
Right.
But it's a point-to-point race, 19 miles with 7,200 feet of gain.
That's a lot. In
right?
my book, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Maybe for Aaron Hill, it's not, but in my book, it's a lot.
Well, for Aaron Hill, that's right before Fruit Loops.
Man.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know
right.
What I mean? It's like I got to wake up. I'm going to go crush 7K.
Yeah.
Come home, have some Fruit Loops. Yeah.
Right.
But, yeah, that's crazy. But, yeah, he did win that one. And I think I saw he's in UTMB.
Huh.
So I think I saw something, and I went back to find it. It was just through social media, but it looked like he's running UTMB this year, and I didn't think he was.
I didn't think he was, but you know what? He's got that pull.
Oh, he could do whatever he wants.
Right.
Who's going to argue?
Yeah.
The guy that thinks he might win?
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, it's like he just make a phone call. Hey, yeah, I'm running. They're
like,
cool. You're here.
That's coming up in a couple weeks.
It is. Yeah.
Right.
Because we got Tara heading over in a couple weeks, Tara Warren from here.
2 weeks, you think?
Yeah,
I think it is.
It's 2 weeks, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty sure
that's
it's 2
snuck up.
weeks. So that's kind of the big one from last week is the Sierras and all. We talked about having the Bigfoot. Was last weekend. There's not. I didn't look at the results this morning because I know they were still trickling in with some final results. But there are some other ones that happened this past weekend.
The Ute.
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
The Ute was?
Yeah. Oh, the Ute. No, I'm sorry. I was
Ute 100.
Tushers. Yeah, Ute was last weekend.
Yeah.
And that crushed a lot of souls.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Looks like he's already going to change the course for next year, too.
I saw that, yeah.
But
I was talking to somebody that was down there, and he said it was really hot.
I heard it was 101 in the valleys. Like
and
it was
even
like,
up high. It was hot.
That's no bueno.
So I have no regrets pulling out that race.
I don't.
I mean, not only my knee wouldn't let me do it, but it being hot, like uncomfortably hot.
Yeah, there's no way. No way. But yeah, that was last weekend. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't want to leave that out.
A local guy won that, didn't he?
I don't know who did win. I didn't even see who won.
Oh, man.
I didn't see the result. My phone broke, and that was like
his
game over.
Instagram handle is Shit in the Woods.
Oh, yeah, because we got Jimmy Elam wants us to interview him.
Right.
Because Jimmy Elam doesn't want to see my selfies anymore.
Right.
But I can't think. McDougal, McDonald, McNoggle? Mike McNoggle? Something like that.
You're thinking of that kid that runs for Altra.
No, that's Mike McKnight. Mike, I think his name was McNoggle or something.
Might be like that. Something like that. But he ran for Navy, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or he was in the Navy or something like that.
I saw him with a singlet of a Navy team or something. So, yeah.
Anyways.
He's supposed to be fast because I knew talking to Jimmy Elam up at Beaverhead. Jimmy won't crush that thing.
Right.
But there is some interesting news, too, because and we'll sidetrack. There was another race, the Leadville 100 mountain bike race.
Yeah, did you see Rob Carr?
That's what I was surprised with.
Got in there.
Rob Carr was 14th.
It's pretty good, I guess, right?
Well, that race brings them. It brings some, like...
Generally it does.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we've seen that they've brought some, people up. Ryan Hall did it. He finished 8th. These are like...
On the mountain bike?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh, no, it was his younger brother, sorry.
Oh.
His brother did. Yeah,
gotcha.
But Carr was 14th. Awesome story, though. Dave Mackey's going for the lead man.
Yeah.
He finished. He's just got
That's this weekend, right?
Just got the run to do.
Mm-hmm.
We had some local friends, David Owen and Darren Giordano here, that went down for their first race ever. Yeah. Pretty much that distance. They've done some local. But it's just cool. I could never do that. I can't.
Nope.
I don't understand mountain bike racing.
Right.
And I was talking to Jeremy Actor, and he was telling me how the kids are mountain bike racing. But my biggest thing, and I know it's probably simple for all you mountain bikers, and I've mountain biked, is just with all the people on the course, how do you pass each other?
Yeah, exactly. How does that work?
Because, we can step off or on your left, but on a bike, if you try to pass them, there's a rock there.
Right. I don't know.
Because there's a lot of single track. So I'm sure there's etiquette in racing and all that, but for me, I still watch, I was running on some trail going, how do you do that?
For that long?
Yeah.
Owie.
Oh, no. The taint wouldn't have it. But this coming up weekend, we've got the Pikes Peak stuff going on, which is pretty iconic.
Yeah, that Pikes Peak Marathon's pretty stacked.
It's got the Ascent and the Marathon going on. I kind of want to... My sister lives in Colorado Springs, so I was talking to Misty. I'm like, I go there for Thanksgiving. I might go to Pikes Peak or do the incline. Because they're kind of like big things. But then she told me what they were like. And I'm like, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just eat turkey.
The incline looks rough.
Well, Pikes Peak, it's
14,000 feet.
Yeah, but it's like
you can do the Bar Mountain, Bar Camp,
Bear Canyon or something.
Bar Camp, Bar Mountain Trail or something like that. That's iconic. That's the one you got to do.
I want to do something, but I don't want to hurt. I don't like hurting anymore. And I'll give you this. We didn't run hard. Okay, let's get that going. But after Teton, I wasn't sore.
That's good.
When I finished, my feet were a little sore.
Yeah.
But then I looked at my shoes, and when I got home, I pulled them out of the bag because they just reek.
Right.
And big chunk of rubber on the bottom was gone.
Oh,
so I don't know at what point I lost the traction on my shoe.
Gotcha. That's when you got sprayed by bear spray.
Probably.
Right? Yeah.
It probably just melted off with that stuff, man. I almost shaved my face. I'm like, is there still bear spray in my mustache?
Ooh, that could be super owie.
Oh, man, that was bad news. But I forgive you, Jim. I forgive you. It was an accident, I think. But I did take the worst of it. That was kind of what's going on in trail running. It was my week for WDYFTY, and there were some good ones.
We have got to be close to being done with WDYFTY awards.
Go in my bathroom, and there's the hats. So my hats are being stored in my bathroom for those that win, but they're covered. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I think I don't think we have 10 left.
Gotcha.
So, because there's some that haven't claimed their hat.
Right, we'll just give those out.
We would probably be done.
Right.
If people would have claimed, but some people, I don't know if they know they win or they're just Instagram and they
probably
see
not.
But there's a lot of good ones this week again. Some from past winners. Don't get me wrong. Megan Martinez had, Skyline. Chad Smith in New York.
Oh, man, he's been killing it.
With the moss. I love moss, man.
Yeah.
And he's got pictures of logs with moss on it.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Terrell, Kate Crooker were up running around in Brighton. Had a good one with Travis Hutchinson, kind of a selfie in Warm Springs in Sun Valley. One of my favorite ones was... where is it? One of the good ones, too, is Colin Campbell on Desolation Lake. That was super pretty. I mean, their flowers are blooming everywhere. Mm-hmm. We got to give a huge shout-out to Michelle Wojciechowski. She ran in Lake Tahoe.
100?
Her first trail race.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was a half marathon or 10K or 10 mile. One of those. I didn't read everything, but she finished her first trail race.
Right on.
Her husband is a bad influence on her, Brad, for getting on the trails. Where was the one I wanted to see? I'm scrolling right now. I already have the winner picked.
Right.
So I really liked Ashley Sharp off the PCT, Rosary Lakes. Funny one was Brett Whitelaw. Mm-hmm. So he's got a picture of a stroller with like a big gulp cup and some food, and it says, "The land of Bloomington Hills, St. George, Utah. Packed enough for a multi-day ultra adventure." And that's, or supplies to occupy a 2-year-old for a max of 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
That was awesome. Jim Skaggs posted some from our race. I was kind of photobombing those. Where's the one? Oh, here it is. It's from Chris Flandreau Williams. Fernwood to Adams.
Right.
And it says, "Do you guys give selfie lessons?" It says the top of the hat. Super funny because I'm in the selfie mode.
I like it.
Had to give that a ha-ha. Bigfoot 200 pictures, Chase Robinson, Glacier Lake in Montana, which I've just found out Glacier National Park is on fire.
Yeah, everything's on fire.
Oh, man.
Right?
That makes me sad.
The glaciers in Glacier National Park are going to be gone in the next, 10 to 20 years.
I got to get up there before they're gone because I've never been there still. And, real quick, we had a Utah firefighter pass away from the California fires.
Tree hit him.
Yeah, just
that's
recently.
Terrible.
So our hearts go out to those, and we know the community has a lot of people in the hot shot crews, and people. So boy, pass along our thank yous and best wishes from the TrailManners group. We sure appreciate everything they do to keep what they can, not burning and stay alive, and not be hurt. So. Also, Stacy Bernal, first run. She just had some surgery. She just got out back on the trail, so congratulations to her. But this week's winner, I didn't want him to win. So because, no, I'm just kidding. It was just gorgeous.
All right.
It's on the Putz course again. So the Putz course is one of few of these woody footies.
Right.
So that tells you something how beautiful it is.
Right.
Jeff Fullmer.
Wait a minute. He's won already.
I didn't see his name on
Are you sure?
I didn't see his name on the thing. So
what's funny is because I would have chose that picture.
Would you?
Yeah.
Because I went and looked at because I keep a spreadsheet of all the winners, and I didn't see his name.
I'm pretty sure he's won.
I don't think so. I would look again. Well, he's won now.
Okay. Well, we can give him another hat. How's that?
We'll give him some. But it's on the Putz course. Waterfall, looking down in Waterfall Canyon, and you'll see it.
All the flowers.
Holy cow, so pretty. And I just saw so many this weekend, but that picture is, because it's kind of like the sun's either coming up or going down.
Right.
I don't know where he's at. But just being on the course, that gives you more people that if you didn't run Putz, put it on your calendar for next year.
At least the marathon.
And it's hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Those are hard. I don't know the half.
They're not a PR course.
It's not a PR course. They are hard. In fact, I was just talking to the actors, Jeremy and Jackie, because they both ran them.
Right.
Jackie did good. Jeremy had a rough day.
Yeah.
Overheated. Had some IV at the finish, but they were just saying, you know what? They're hardcore, but they liked it. They're like they're just hard. I mean, they'll be. And what makes them so hard this year a little bit more than others is just the trail, because there's so many, it's so overgrown.
Right.
So, you think in the future that would be less of an issue as time goes on, but trail gets developed more, because those trails have been so neglected.
Right.
These are the only group.
Yeah, I mean, if they're up there maintaining it
hardcore. Hardcore, they could make some trails, but a little bit. But just know it's going to be hard. But you have to, it's just beautiful.
Right.
If you like beauty, if you like beauty, if you like the beauty, and if you like it rugged, you're not
beautiful and rough.
You're not, right?
Yeah.
You got to pay extra.
I like
for
where
that.
we're going with this.
You got to pay extra for that. No, but it is. And so, congratulations, Jeff. I don't think you've won still, but if you have, we'll still make it right.
We'll figure out something.
And sorry, but that was awesome. A lot of good ones came in this weekend though, but that one I like to scroll. I look at all of them, but sometimes I'll just scroll real fast and just what catches my eye.
Yeah, his caught.
It really did. And he's got even people commenting on it for how awesome it was. So
they're like, can I buy this?
Yeah, how cool is that? Can you take me there? And I'm like, hey, it's on Palisades course. You can just
sign up for it.
Yeah. So we do have an Ask TrailManners.
Oh, okay. Let's get that out of the way.
But we want to thank the Sign Garage again. I haven't been in for a while, but we got to thank the Sign Garage for the Woody Footy hats. They've been such a success. And when these are up, we got to figure out what we're going to do for the next year.
I don't know.
I mean, we got to do something
we've got a bunch of swag we still need to get rid of. So maybe we'll just go through the swag we got.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So thanks for the Sign Garage for doing that, Elizabeth and Nate. They're just super slammed all summer long with stuff, but they've always taken care of us, so we truly, truly appreciate that. So let's get into Ask TrailManners. I'm going to let you start.
Okay.
So you haven't seen the question yet.
No, I haven't.
Came from Andrew.
All right, Andrew. Is this our friend north of the wall?
I'm pretty sure it is.
All right.
So here's it is. He says, I've been asked by a friend to pace them during the latter part of the Javelina 100-mile race.
Oh.
What advice can you give me? Our paces are pretty similar, but I'm wondering what additional things I need to know in order to be an effective pacer.
Man.
So I'm going to let Joel start with this. Joel, what do you got?
Oh, man. This is a tough one because I'm a terrible pacer.
You've paced me.
I have, but...
You've made me finish Wasatch before.
Yeah,
so
I did.
Terrible.
I mean, yeah.
That's what a pacer's for, is to get you to the finish line.
Gosh, the Javelina, that's flat-ish.
Yeah.
In the desert, it could be hot, so I'm not sure how well that north of the wall type of physiology is going to work down here. Boy, since I don't know if your runner is from the cold north, but that's what I would focus on.
Heat?
Heat, but also it gets cold in the desert at night, so just make sure you're taking care of your runner, making sure that they're either staying cool or they're staying warm, just depending on what time of the day you're going to run with them. Make sure that you're getting them in and out of the aid stations quickly. That's huge. Have that game plan going into it. I think that's the number one piece of advice I can give.
And I think to just expand on Joel's is sit down with your runner and ask what their expectations are, too.
Yes.
It's like, hey, do you want any time in aid stations?
Right.
Do you just want in and out? Once we get in aid station, what do you want?
Right.
Before you get there. I mean, it's going to change a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But to kind of have a game plan in mind, like, hey, how hard do you want me to push
And you're going through the same aid stations over and over again. Because
it's
it's a loop course. It's like 20-mile loop course or something.
Yeah, so how hard do you want me to push you?
Right.
When you're whining, do you want me to kick your butt?
Yeah.
Or do you need some
want me to back
love?
off a little bit?
And you know what I'm into now? What I thought about when I saw this? You need a safe word.
That's a good idea.
No, like for your runner, like whatever it is. So it's like when I say this word, all planning's off. We need to strategically figure this out.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If he's like, nope, I want in and out of aid stations. I want you to kick my butt.
Yeah.
I want this. And he's in a bad way, and you get in, you're doing it, and he's like...
And he's like throwing out muskrat.
Yeah,
muskrat. He's tapping out at that point.
Muskrat. You're like, oh, okay. So what do we need to do?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
it's like it's shift change, right? Yeah. So have a safe word. That's my new thing. But yeah, I think it's just game planning beforehand, expectations, and just if your runner has injury going into it, or if he has a tendency to have blisters, know those things before you're going into it, and then just I mean, a pacer's
a lot of times you just got to roll with it.
You do. I mean, it's like improv.
It really is.
Yeah.
You're just shooting on the fly, just trying to get your runner to the next aid station.
But knowing your runner is a huge thing. I think when you're pacing somebody you don't know, because that happens a lot. Hey, I'm coming into town. I need a pacer.
Right.
If you don't know your pacer, that can get ugly.
Oh man!
But if you know, or your runner. But
that
if you know your
terrifying.
runner, sometimes you know what they're like on training runs
right.
and what they need. So, yeah, I think have a game plan going in, get a safe word, and then just be able to
roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches. But as Joel says, I mean, it is your job to make sure, they have what they need coming in and out, or if they're staying warm, put a shell on them if they look like they're getting
that's
cold.
The biggest thing, especially in the desert at night.
And if it's later in a race, they're not thinking, hey, are you drinking water? Hey, do you need to eat? You got to just remind them the silly stuff, because at that point they're in survival mode.
Right.
So I think those would be my and Joel's advice for that.
Right.
Quick on Strava week. It was we had the old trifecta this week from Christiane Morgan, and again, I think they're on the AT helping somebody.
Oh, they must be
still. So I think they might be doing it. But they're this week again, 208 miles. Run time was 48 hours, 52 minutes, and climbing was 28,000 feet. So 28,750 to be exact.
Very impressive.
So that's 2 weeks in a row on the run time and the distance.
Miles.
Yeah, so it's 400 in the last 2 weeks.
That's
I think that's what it was the week before. So that was our Strava of the week for the group. What else we got? Do you have anything?
That's it.
So we have closing quote. This came from Mark P. in Tennessee. So thanks, Mark in Tennessee. Again, if you have a closing quote for the show, just email us, manners@trailmanners.com. Send us your Ask Trail Manners questions to the same email, manners@trailmanners.com. We'll end the show with this one. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bullshit story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. Boom. Dropping some knowledge. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bullshit story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. So don't make excuses, basically. Thanks, Mark P. from Tennessee. I like that, actually. I like that quote, or the finish. So anyway, that's this week. Single track session number 101. This is Aric and Joel, and we'll catch you next week.